Hi guys, it's Veronica, and I am going to do a quick walkthrough on the Oracle of Mystical Moments today. I've been using this deck a lot. For me, it's like an expansion pack to my tarot deck in readings that are about queenship, establishing where you are, mapping out where you want to go and how to get there. I love it in that regards. Now, I view the cards differently than what the book says. I go on the image and the title of the card. I do that a lot. I love art decks if they speak to me in that way. I showed some of the art cards that I made that I use in this way in my video diving into the Nicoletta deck. And I use Dixit story cards. The Dixit storytelling cards are great for that. And I've made art decks. So this one had a very tarot vibe to me, which I love. And I'm going to go through the cards and just show you what they mean to me. So the first one, they're not in order. I put them in the order that I wanted to talk about them. So the Journey to me is a Fool card, very much the Fool. And what I like is looking at it. I'm going to move ahead just a little bit here. Here's My Dear Friend. Now, when I look at these two cards, here's the Journey and My Dear Friend. This is the Fool, and this is the Lovers. Do you start out? The Lovers card to me is about choices and decisions. And I've been thinking about this a lot lately. Like when my husband, after being apart 20 years, and we saw each other and it was immediate and everything happened so fast. Sometimes the biggest things feels like there wasn't a choice. This is just the way it was. But then as years go by and you go through circumstances and hard times, you continuously make that choice to stay and make it work, if that makes any sense. Well, this reminds me of that. The Lovers card, but down the road when it just deepens and you've made that choice again and again and again, and the bond that it creates. So there's the beginning at the Fool to the Lovers. Now, this card, My Home is My Castle, I think of this, and I haven't heard anyone talk about it like this, but to me, this is very much a High Priestess card. And again, the High Priestess, like in the crone years, let's say, where she offers up her wisdom and insight and truth, but there's so much more behind that that's been built and experienced and acquired and learned. And so to me, this is very much a High Priestess card. Now I've got two Empress cards. Let's see, two High Priestess cards and two Empress cards. This is the other High Priestess card to me. Listen. And to me, this is High Priestess and then this is the Empress, but this is like the High Priestess and the Empress together. Bloom, right? So this is a mix of those two cards to me. And then there is another Empress card, and that's Red Garden. But this Empress card, I just think of thankfulness, being very thankful for what you have and what you create and who you are. And it's the kind of gratefulness that just begets more great. The more thankful you are, the more you have to be thankful for. So that's what this card means to me. Tiny Triumphs, the Strength card. Okay, I have two Hermits in this deck. And see now, if it all reminded me of Queens, or if there's too many of one thing, it's not balanced enough. But this is really varied throughout the deck, and I love it. So this is Sleeping Beauty's Dream. Okay, here's two Hermit cards to me, and then the Observer. That's a Hermit card too. To me, this is a Hermit card when you're deep inside yourself. And sometimes that's good, sometimes it's not so good. To me, and I have lived with the Hermit card a lot, especially all my life, but especially lately, and I'm venturing out more, right? So this is the Hermit when she ventures out and does things her way. There's way more to that, but I'm just giving you basically what I think of the card, and then it just expands and goes from there depending on where it is in the reading and what the situation is. Okay. Then we go to the wheel, and there's two different wheels for me too. Here is Day and Night, and then there's Change of Seasons. One is the wheel when it's almost a Four of Cups kind of feel, and you're not entirely great with everything that's going on, maybe. And then this one is leaning into it and the seasons changing, the cycle changing, and it being very well received. Okay, this Morning Dew Girl. Oh, I love here. This is my Hangman. And I love this, you know, in most of the time in the Hangman, you see the person suspended and all that. What I love is to see that acceptance towards the end of the Hangman, when you've gotten that new perspective and you're happy for it and it's brought you somewhere else. So that's my Hangman. And then here is the other side of the Death card, the transformation. Eva is a perfect Devil card. See a little Seven of Swords in there too, but mainly the Devil card. I've got 2 star cards, White Rose of Hope and Elixir of Life. Again, when you're moving toward the star card and when you've embraced the star card or moving further away from it. Oh, that painting's bugging me. Okay, this does not usually go here. There was something else that I had to take down, and then there was something on the wall. It just, don't think that I think these go together. That's not in a very original or good pairing, but it's just make and do for right now. So don't judge me on my art. All right, so Moon Dance is the moon, but there's also secrets. So this has 2 moon cards for me. And again, fanciful, leaning into it, dreams, intuition, and this is the more mysterious side of the moon with secrets. Okay, I've got Miss Sunshine. That's the sun card. Look how beautiful that is. This deck reminds me so much. This artist, Katrin Wettstein. I'm so bad at pronouncing it. I just butchered it. I know. I'm so sorry. Reminds me a lot of Christian Schlow, and I used a lot of Christian Schlow in my meme deck that I'm having to remake, but this kind of art always speaks to me. In the art cards that I showed in another video, there was a lot of Mark Ryden, Benjamin Lancome, these artists like this. So I used this kind of artwork speaks to me so much intuitively and that's one of the reasons why it's taken me so long to remake the meme deck, is to kind of get the same feel without using, look how much of this guy's art I used in my original meme deck. But see how it has that same kind of vibe, and there were more, but I'm not showing that deck right now. Okay, so now we get to the perfect key. That's the Judgment card for me. And then the World. All is connected. I love this card. The world, going back to the Fool and how it's all connected and realizing that it's all connected and doing the journey again. Okay, now we're going to move into the swords. I've got 2 4 of Swords. There's Touch the Sky and Butterfly Garden. There's an inward and then an outward mindfulness. 4 of Swords. Keys on Trees. This is a 7 of Swords card to me. And more in a positive sense, you using the 7 of Swords to your advantage. Oh, I love that card. So Sea Witch. At first, I didn't know what to do with this card, but it's an 8 of Swords card to me. And the book, this is one where I vary greatly from the book because, I mean, she's a jellyfish and look at that look on her face. So yeah, 8 of Swords. This one I love. Okay, where that one was the 8 of Swords, to me, this is a card that when you're coming out of the 8 of Swords, finally, you're coming out of the 8 of Swords, which I am happily ending my journey with the 8 of Swords. Hallelujah. I feel like this. So I love that card. Now we come to the first queen, and that is the Queen of Swords, like a bird. I have a few court cards in here, and there's a queen for each, but in the swords, the only court was this one. Okay, then we're going to move into the wands. Lorelei, that's a 2 of wands to me. There's decisions and responsibility, and yeah, I like that. 4 of wands. No rain today. These cards just make me happy. 8 of wands. A long way home. 9 of wands. Me and elephants. I have elephants on my bracelets. I'm usually wearing this. An elephant, it reminds me of my Grammy always, but elephants always remind me of the Nine of Wands. In the Fungi Tarot that I showed last time, Nine of Wands, I got to pick an elephant for it, and I was so excited. So I love that. In my deck, it's going to say something like, to endure the unendurable is true endurance, something like that. Beautiful. Okay, and then we've got most of the court in the wands. So here, Pure Nature is my Page of Wands. The Art of Seduction, Knight of Wands. Got 2 Queen of Wands here. This is my Queen of Wands, Queen Bee. My best friend Bee, she's a Queen of Wands. But Protective Nest, this is my other Queen of Wands, the other side. And I know you can be protective and all that, but come on, Queen of Wands, they can get crazy, like batshit crazy. So I'm sorry, this one is when maybe you're getting a little batshit crazy with it. So, not always. Now we're moving into the cups, Mermaid's Love. 2 of Cups for me. And I love this because it's so 2 of Cups. The magic in that moment, the alchemy in that moment. You don't know where it's going to go, but enjoy it for what it is right then. 4 of Cups. This is a call to action, though. Don't just sit there and feel this way. Let them know. Spend time with them. It's got a 4 of Cups feel to me, though. A little bit of ennui when there shouldn't be. Treasured Memories, 6 of Cups. New Directions, 8 of Cups. Again, with the 8 of Cups, it's not so much that you're moving away. It's you're moving away from something to go to something better, right? And I think that's a beautiful depiction of it. The Gift, 9 of Cups. And then we go into the courts of cups, and I have 1 for each. Here's my Flower Spirit is Page of Cups. Under my umbrella, Knight of Cups, the champion. Can you hear me? That's my Queen of Cups. I love her. In the book, it talks about loneliness. I felt lonely all my life, even when I'm surrounded by people. Being away from people never makes me feel lonely. I'm perfectly fine by myself. What's always made me feel lonely is not being understood, being the odd one out maybe. And this just so encapsulates that for me. I absolutely love it. And then one of my favorite cards in the deck, Lullaby. That's my King of Cups. My brother and my husband both played the cello, and this is just such a comforting card to me. I love it. Stranded. That's my 4 and 5 of Pentacles. I promise you I will not talk about the 4 and 5 of Pentacles. You know what it means to me. There you go. Okay, House of Flowers. That is the 10 of Pentacles. Home in the Sky. Now, this one won't make sense to a lot of people, but that's my Knight of Pentacles. The grounded passion, but always having a home base. I like that card. And here is my Queen of Pentacles. Rose Garden? So it's called, yes. And then the King of Pentacles is the Gardener. And then the other 2 cards, this one, Oh Sunny Day, it's just like the aces, any of the aces. This is an aces card. And Weaving Flowers, that's the one on the box. This is queenship, just like the other one is for all the aces. This is really not about any particular queen, but queenship in itself, which I think is the theme of the deck for me. And that's what it's really worked great in readings for people that are going through a transformation and are trying to map out where they want to go, because that's what I think tarot does. And even the best GPS system, it can't help you if you can't figure out where you are, right? So that was it really quick. I will show the deck that I use it with a lot. And this is only for friends that are clients and all, because I made this deck, but it's Vivian's Tarot, a black and white deck I made from Vivian Mayer prints. And all I did was use index paper and lightly laminate it. If you're attracted to any particular person's art or an art style, I would say make your own deck. it will be so strong. It will mean so much to you because you put it together and that image spoke to you for that card. And it cracks me up. So I'm being paged. I've got a reading, got to go. But I promise I'll put another one out soon. I hope you guys are doing well. Talk to you later. See ya.